Hey, welcome back, creators. If you don't already know me, my name is Angel Martinez, and this channel is dedicated to bringing healing arts practitioners value in all things content creation to empower you to get out there and create content because you have a gift to share and the world needs to hear it. So in the previous video, I gave you guys a full walkthrough on designing your landing page inside of Kartra. I walked through some of the simple elements and a layout that you can use for the design of your event page. And if you found yourself here in this video and you haven't yet checked that one out, make sure to do so because I created this series in a subsequent order. If you could tell by the title of this video, you can see that this is part 2 to this series. All right, so in this video, we are going to cover creating a product inside of Kartra, and this is so that you can allow people to give you their money when they sign up for your event in a way that's easy for them to give you their money. And so I know the label may sound confusing because it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sell physical products. This is just a way for people to pay you via the Kartra system, and this is just the way that they labeled it. And this is why Kartra is amazing, because it allows you to build everything that you can possibly imagine for your business all in one system. So before we jump in, we need to cover a few things. Number one, before you can create a product, you need to have your payment gateway set up, which in this case, you'll be able to provide your customers the option of using PayPal or a debit/credit card, which requires you to have a Stripe account. So first things first, if you haven't already set up a Stripe account, make sure that you do that. And I've already thought about this for you. So yes, I have created a video where I walk you through setting up your Stripe account and then integrating your PayPal and your Stripe account to Kartra. I know, I'm a genius, and I've already thought about the whole thing. I've thought about it all for you already, and it's all done. All you got to do is just go do it. So if you need to, make sure to check that video out, which of course I will link here in this video or in the description down below. And actually, this is all you really need to know before we can get started. So why don't we jump in? All right, you guys, so now we go back into our Kartra dashboard, and over here on the left-hand side, we are going to select products, okay? And so remember, products are important because this is how people are then going to pay you. And then inside of your calendar or even on the landing page, it will ask anytime that there is a checkout or the option for people to pay you for your event or for your class, you are going to need to create a product. So let's get through that. All right, so once we go into products, we are going to go over here on the right hand side and we are going to add a new product. All right, so let's go ahead and click on this big plus button here, and we are going to enter the name of our product. And if you notice here, this says internal name. So this is going to be internal. This is not going to be public facing, but we're going to go ahead and call this Soulful Sunday. And we are going to select this as a main product. All right. You have the option to do an upsell or downsell, where, as it explains here, this offer will only be shown to customers who previously ordered another product. That is not the case here. We're going to select a main product for this. So let's go ahead and select that. We're going to hit next. And now it's going to bring us into our details. So you can see here, this is why I really love Kartra, because it walks you step by step as to all the things that you need to make sure that you have to setting up your product. Okay, so the official name, this is going to be the public facing name. So we're going to call this Soulful Sunday. And then here we can enter in a short description of what is Soulful Sunday. So if you already have the description for your class, you can go ahead and just plug that in here. And it's definitely great to have. You absolutely want to have it because this does show up when people are purchasing your product, or paying for your class or for your event. So we are going to take our description and we're going to plug that in here. Maximum characters is 80, so you don't have a whole lot of room to enter in a description. So let's go ahead and paste this in here. Okay, so that does it for our description. And over here on the right hand side, you can see that there is a section option to include an image. Highly recommend that. Otherwise, it's just going to show up as blank. Not going to look good when people are giving you money. So you definitely want to make this look as official as possible. I'm going to go ahead and click on that and open up our image library, and I'm just going to go ahead and input our logo here. So this would be a good place for you to just put a logo for your business. If you have a logo specifically for the event or for the class that you're hosting, that would be a good option as well. Otherwise, your business logo will be perfect for that. All right, so let's go ahead and confirm there. Plugging in that logo, it's going to give you the option to resize and reformat that, but this looks perfect as it is, and we're going to plug that in there. Now, do we want to list this in the publicly in the marketplace? No, we do not. This is going to be a private product. This is not something that others in the interwebs can have access to and sell for you. All right, again, this is specifically for an event. All right, so let's go ahead and keep that private. And once we're done with that, we're going to hit save. That completes that process there. Now, the other thing, like I mentioned in earlier, is you are going to need to have your integration payment processors already set up before you go into this product. So if you don't already have PayPal set up or Stripe set up, this is go and get that done. Otherwise, you can just select configure later, continue through this process, and then make sure that you come back or go over to your integration section where you can see here on the left-hand column. And that's where you will then plug in. All it will ask you to do is to log into your PayPal. You'll give your email and your password that plugs in your PayPal. And then for Stripe, you will have to use your Stripe API key, both the public key and the secret key. If you have any questions on that, I have another video where I walk you through setting up Stripe, where you can find your public key and your secret API key. But those are the two things that you'll need in order for people to pay via PayPal or via credit card. I highly recommend that you set up both of them. All right, so for this one specifically, we are not going to have PayPal set up. We're only going to have a credit card option, which is going to ask us for our Stripe API key or our Stripe setup. Okay, so you would select, I already have some set up right here. You would go ahead and select there, and then make sure that it's the right one. If you have multiple set up, make sure that it's the right one, and then you can go ahead and hit save. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just configure later and come back to this. All right, and you can see when you have, anytime that you set up you select configure later, it's going to give you this red hourglass as opposed to this green check mark, and that's just telling you that you still have some steps to complete. All right, so let's go ahead and save next. And now we're going to select our pricing. Okay, so for an event, you are most likely just going to have a one-time event. So the option here, the payment selection that you're going to select for your event is going to be that one time. All right, yes, you have the recurring. This would be something like if you have a monthly recurring membership that you can set up here, installments, something that you can pay over a period of time, and then recurring installments, again, installments that can be paid over, let's say, a period of 3 months. And then if you want that to happen every year, depending on what kind of product you have, that's where you would do that. But again, we can dive into those options and dive deeper as to how those work depending on what it is that you're selling. But again, all we have is a one-time event, so we are going to select the one-time option here. Okay, so for the price description, this is where you would put in just a simple description. All you got to do is one-time payment. One-time payment, that should do it like that. Just a simple description of what it is that people are paying for. Okay, so then you're going to go ahead and select your price here. All right, so for this specific event, we are going to be charging $15, not $151. Okay, so $15, go ahead and select there. I do want to mention that if you, again, we'll dive into this in a separate video, but you can have multiple price points, again, depending on what it is that you're selling. Okay, so now enable initial payment. This is something that if you are doing, like, again, if you're doing some sort of membership and you want to charge $7 for a 7-day free trial, and then after the free trial, it continues on to your regular payment. So let's say you were charging $97 a month for your membership. You can set that $7 initial payment for the free trial period, and then it'll then continue on at the $97 a month rate for your monthly recurring membership. All right, and then we do want to have this as the default price, okay? So again, this doesn't apply here for the one-time event, so we're going to go ahead and leave that off. Okay, so now we go ahead and hit save. And then it's going to bring us to this menu here. So shipping costs, again, there's no shipping costs here. And even if you were offering a monthly membership, there's no shipping costs there as well. For the event, there's not going to be any shipping costs correlated to that. Sales tax, this would be something that you would want to consult with a tax advisor as to what sales tax you would like to charge. Typically for events, we don't do sales taxes, so we're just going to go ahead and leave that off there. Now for the refund policy, typically we don't do refunds for events, and this is something that I would recommend that you do as well. But you can go ahead and consider whether you want a 7-day period refund policy. If people are coming to the event and they're participating in the event, there's not going to be any refunds. All right, so we're going to go ahead and select no refund. Let's go ahead and hit save. And then let's go ahead and save next. And then this is why you need to have your landing page set up first before you come in here and select your products. Okay, because now it's going to ask us for the product page and the thank you page. So let's go ahead and change this. The destination page is not going to be an external page if you created this inside of Kartra, which you should have I walked you through that process already. So let's go ahead and instead of external URL, we're going to select Kartra page. And then this is where a little bit of organization is going to come into hand and going to come really handy, because now you're going to find that page, and we have categorized that page under the Healing Tree category. And now it's going to bring the pages that are available under the Healing Tree category. And so we named this one Soulful Sunday. Let's go ahead and select that one. We're going to hit save. And now for the thank you page, again, you're going to need that thank you page already set up. Let's go ahead and select Kartra page. Same process here. We're going to select it under the Healing Tree because that is the category that is under. And then we are going to find the Soulful Sunday thank you page. And let's go ahead and hit save. All right, let's go ahead and do save next. And now for the checkout process. So this is going to give you a little bit of customization as to what you want your checkout process to look like. So let's go ahead and go through the steps. Let's go to the first one here. Let's change this. Typically, this is how it's going to, how you're going to set it up. You have 3 different options here. You have the Kartra hosted checkout page, which is the option that we're going to select for this specific example, because that is where people are coming to. They're coming to a Kartra hosted page. You can have an overlay pop-up window on your site, which would then come up as a pop-up. Or you can embed the checkout form into your own custom page, which would be like an external website or something like that. So for this one, we're going to select Kartra hosted checkout page because the checkout is on the actual landing page itself. And it's going to be embedded into our calendar. Okay, so now you have some options here as to what you want it to look like. Let's go ahead and scroll through here. We usually do the orange theme. This is a theme that I typically like to use. So let's go ahead and select the theme color to be orange, but there's several different theme colors that you can select through here. Up to you as to how you want it to look. Let's go ahead and hit save. After we selected that one, let's go to the checkout page header logo. Yes, definitely want to include our logo on there. Highly recommend that you do that. All right, so let's go ahead and open up our image library and let's go find our logo. Continue to scroll through here. And there it is. Okay, let's scroll back up and confirm. It's probably gonna ask, nope, okay, all right. Thought it was gonna ask us to format it, but that's perfectly fine. There it is, save, and that's what it's gonna look like at the top of your checkout page. You can embed a Kartra help desk. We're not gonna dive into what a help desk is or how that looks or how to set that up here on this video. We can dive into that in a separate video, but let's go ahead and leave this as off. Also, I don't really recommend that you do a help desk because you don't want to distract people from checking out. You want people to go through your landing page, check out, pay you, and done deal. You don't want to distract them with anything else or provide the opportunity for them to think of a question and then they don't end up checking out and now they're waiting for your response in order for them to purchase. So again, less distractions, the best. All right, so let's go ahead and leave that one off. Now for the checkout form fields, this would be in case if you want to ask for any specific information from your customers. Typically, we are only asking for the first name, last name, email. We're not gonna ask for address. We're not gonna, it looks like country and state is mandatory there. Let's go ahead and take out city and postal code. Not relevant. We don't need to be asking for that information. First name, last name, email, and then phone number is an option if you want to collect phone numbers from people. So let's go ahead and just add that one there. We're gonna select here, or sorry, we're gonna go ahead and add field. And then here from my existing fields, you can also create a custom field, which would then, again, you can, depending on what questions, any preliminary questions that you want to ask of your customers so that you know prior to the event, if that's the case, you can create a custom field. And then here you could then label that and then select. You have a whole bunch of different options as to how you want to present your question and the responses. So let's go ahead and go back to my existing fields because we're just doing a phone number, which is already one of the options from Kartra. And everything else is pretty much standard. So it's obviously going to just select a text input. The field label is going to be phone, and let's just do phone number. And then the field placeholder. So this is what's going to look like inside of the into the text area. It's going to be just a placeholder. It's going to be like a light colored gray, and then that way people know to put in their phone number. All right, so let's go ahead and hit save. Best practice, and let's go ahead and move this too. So you can move these around. So first name, last name, email, phone number, and then country and state. And I'm assuming that country and state is mandatory because you are asking for money for people to purchase something. All right, so product quantity, you can go in here, how many times or how many units is what it's called, how many units people can purchase. If this is something that you foresee people buying 2, 3, 4, 5 tickets to your event, then this is an option that you would want to select here. Let the user order more than 1 unit. Typically for events, people are just purchasing for just one person for themselves. And that's the option that we're going to go with here. We're just going to do the product is not sold in quantities, just one. All right, so let's go ahead and hit save. Now the express checkout. This is something that I would recommend just because it makes it a little bit faster. It makes it a little bit easier for people to check out. And it's just a one-click confirmation for people to pay and give you their money. So we're going to enable that, the express checkout. And then the cart abandonment tagging. This is something that, again, an option where you can tag people in case they abandoned the cart. So we can go ahead and do that. We would select that. I would always recommend that just in case you want to do any sort of like remarketing to those people that didn't check out. You can send them an email, maybe an offer, check in with them or something like that. Just an option for you, almost like a just in case for now. In case you want to do that. You don't have to though. So let's go ahead and hit select price point 1. We're going to select the category of our tags, which is for this case under the healing tree. And then we're going to create a new tag for this. Okay, so we're going to call this abandoned cart. And then we'll do Soulful Sunday. Okay, it's super important that you are as descriptive as possible when it comes to these tags. That way, when you go to revisit it, you know exactly what it is. And it gives you the option to select the color. Let's just go ahead and select green for that one. And then the tag description, highly recommend that you input this. So this is going to be something like all people who abandoned the cart for Soulful Sunday. Okay, and this is just an internal process that happens within Kartra. Whenever somebody goes to the cart and they don't check out, they don't give you their money, Kartra will automatically tag them And again, you are able to then remarket to them. Okay, so let's go ahead and select the category under the healing tree. Let's go ahead and create this. And then you have to select add. And now you have a tag assigned to anybody who doesn't check out and abandons the cart. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit save. Terms and conditions. This is something that you would want to include. All right, and then or sorry, let's go ahead and not activate this for now, but this is something that you would want to include some terms and conditions so that people know what it is that they're paying for and how it works. Okay, so we're gonna leave this as no, don't activate. This is just a one-time event. It's really not $15 purchase. It's really not that heavy. So but again, this is something that you may want to come back and revisit and add some terms and conditions. And now bump offers, this doesn't apply necessarily in this case for the event, but this is something where, like, if you want to activate the bump offer, this is something where, like, when somebody is purchasing here and you want to add something, you want to add, hey, for an extra $10, you can buy a yoga mat or something like that, right? So that is something that you can embed there, and that's what it'll look like, as you can see there. But we're not gonna do a bump offer on this one, so let's go ahead and save as and leave it as off. Okay, so let's go ahead and we are all completed here. Let's go ahead and hit save and next. And now what's gonna happen post sale? So once that person has purchased your product, they have checked out, now what do you want to happen afterwards? So definitely want to include them into a customer list. So I already have some lists already created, and let's go ahead and add them to the healing tree. This is just like a general customers list, anybody who has purchased any sort of product or any sort of event at the healing tree at our event space. And then let's go ahead and hit save. And I want to add one more. Okay, so we are going to create one new list for Soulful Sunday. And this is just now in case I want to do any sort of remarketing to people who only have purchased Soulful Sunday events. Okay, so now I'm going to put that, they're going to go into the Healing Tree general list of all the customers who have purchased any event. And then they'll also go into a Soulful Sunday specific list, again, in case you want to just market specifically to that list. So let's go ahead and add a description. All people who have purchased a ticket to Soulful Sunday. All right, create, and then let's add both of them. So the Healing Tree and Soulful Sunday. Okay, so now both of them are listed in there. Let's go ahead and hit save. Do you want to tag your customers? Yes, I always recommend that you tag your customers. You're going to select price point 1, and then again select the category for those tags, and then let's tag them with, we're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna tag them with the Healing Tree tag, and then we add that one, and then we're going to create a new tag, similar process to what we did with the list, and then the Healing Tree, and then let's go ahead and create a new tag, and let's put Soulful Sunday customers. And this operates very much the same like I explained for the list. All right, so you can go into the back end of all your customers, search Soulful Sunday customers, and all your customers that have purchased Soulful Sunday will come up on that list right there. So let's go ahead and add a description. All people who have purchased a ticket to Soulful Sunday. All right, the Healing Tree, and let's go ahead and create that tag, and let's add that tag, and now we are all done. So those are the two tags that we want to make sure that we assign to our customers. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit save. Now accessing your product content, we're not doing a membership, we're not doing an integrated membership, we're not doing a downloadable file, and so because people are just purchasing a ticket and coming in physically to your event, we're just going to select the no access page. Okay, so go ahead and hit save. And then any automations, as of now, we're not going to kick off any automations. We're going to handle that inside of the calendar, which automations would be something like if this person purchases upon purchase of Soulful Sunday, maybe you wanted to send an email, or maybe you want to remove them from another list, etc. So there's all kinds of different automations that we can do with Kartra. Again, we're not going to dive into that right now, but there are several different options in terms of automations that you can do when somebody purchases this product. Any sort of email marketing, we're going to handle that inside of the calendar, inside of the calendar feature. All right, so let's go ahead and hit save and next. Now, any sort of affiliates for an event, typically you're not doing any sort of affiliate programs, but this is in case if you are wanting other people to sell your course, or sorry, your event on their behalf. And that the way that this would work is the affiliate program, you would assign some sort of percentage to that person for selling your event, and you can, pay them 15% of the total sale of that. But again, this is a $15 product. It's not going to apply here. And so we're going to go ahead and just leave these both as off. We're going to hit save and next, and we are at the finish line. And so now what we want to do here is you can just go ahead and ignore this for now. We are going to plug in this product into our calendar. All right. And when we dive into the calendar, you'll see it'll ask you for the product that you are going to be selling, and then it'll be plugged into there. All right, squad. So I've taken you guys from creating your landing pages, which remember should always be step number 1 because of the order in which things are required for each step, as you saw here in this video. We created your product, and now we can go and move forward to the last step, which I'm going to give you a fair warning, it gets deep. All right, but I promise you that you'll be able to walk away with your entire event page and your registration completely set up for your customers to give you their money. And it is just going to feel amazing when it is all set up and you start printing money. All right, but you get what I mean here, okay? You will have the entire system fully automated, creating an efficient system for you, for your business, and providing an excellent customer experience for your customers. So in the final video, we are going to create your calendar, and this is where you'll set up your dates, your times, allow your customers to view in advance what you have available, and register and start selling out your events. So if you have any specific questions about what we've covered so far, I highly recommend that you join us inside of Real Magic, inside of the community of Real Magic, where all healing arts practitioners are hanging out at and learning in collaboration with each other. And I'll make sure to link our community down below. And if you go there now, you can take advantage of a 7-day free trial so that you can get a sneak peek into all the value that we provide in Real Magic. All right, I'm done talking. I'll catch you guys in the next one.